Ladies and gentlemen, the 2026 Galva High School commencement ceremony is about to begin. Please rise if able and remain standing until after the Pledge of Allegiance and all graduates are seated.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Please be seated. Good afternoon, everyone. On behalf of the graduating class, I would like to welcome all of you here today. Thank you to our family, friends, teachers, and staff
for coming to celebrate this important moment with us. Graduation is much more than just receiving our diplomas. It represents years of hard work, determination, and memories that we will carry with us forever. We've all had our moments of uncertainty, but today shows how far we have come and what this class is capable of accomplishing. Thank you to our teachers and school staff for your patience, guidance, and support throughout these 4 years. You helped shape us as students, but even more importantly, as people preparing for the future. Thank you to our family and loved ones for encouraging us, believing in us, and standing beside us every step of the way. This achievement would never have been possible without your unwavering support. And to my fellow graduates today, today is a celebration of all the hard work we have put in to reach this point. No matter where life takes us next, whether it's college, the military, trade school, or another path, we should all be proud of what we have achieved together. As we begin this new chapter in our lives, let's remember the lessons, friendships, and experiences that brought us here today. Thank you again to everyone for being here today, and welcome to the graduation ceremony for the class of 2026.
Thank you, Brady. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Curtis Smythe. I'm the principal here at Galva Junior Senior High School. Thank you for joining us today as we honor the graduating class of 2026. This school year, we had the pleasure of hosting a foreign exchange student. Emily Clayman joined us from her parents, Martina Clayman and Ramon Fuchs, in Tower, Germany. She stayed with her host mother, Miss Kathy Cup. At this time, I invite Emily to come to the stage and ask that you help me please congratulate her as she receives her certificate of completion. Congratulations, Emily. We have had many high-achieving students in the class of 2026. There are 3 who completed all 4 years of their high school career with straight A's. These 3 students have shown the perseverance and a strong work ethic. All of them received several academic honors throughout their time at Galva Junior Senior High School. I now ask the 3 valedictorians from the class of 2026 to stand when I say their name and receive their valedictorian medals. Miss McKenna Anderson. Miss Allison Nordstrom. And Miss Kaylin Townsend. Congratulations on all of your accomplishments during your high school careers. We will now hear from our valedictorians, beginning with McKenna Anderson.
Good evening, everyone, and thank you for being here today to celebrate this unforgettable moment with us. Standing here now, it's hard to believe how quickly the years have passed. What once felt so far away has suddenly become our reality. This moment represents more than just the end of high school. It reflects the journey that brought us here. Every late night, every challenge, every success, and every setback has shaped us into who we are today. Graduation is often seen as a finish line, but in many ways it's a starting point, marking both the close of one chapter and the beginning of another, filled with new opportunities and the unknown. I wouldn't be standing here today without the people who have supported me every step of the way. My family, especially my sisters and my parents, has been my foundation and my greatest source of encouragement. My sisters, Layla and Chloe, are the ones who can always make me laugh and remind me not to take life too seriously. My dad has been a constant source of strength, always believing in me and pushing me to work hard. My mom keeps me calm and somehow always knows exactly what to say. She has encouraged me and believed in me even when I didn't believe in myself. They've made the hard days easier and the best days even better, and I'm so grateful to have them by my side. The same kind of support has carried into my friendships. I'm so thankful for people like Ryan and Allison who have made these past 4 years unforgettable. From going to dances together, to laughing over the small things, to showing up for each other at events, or just spending time together, those moments have meant more to me than I can put into words. Even as we head in different directions, I know those friendships will last. I've also been incredibly lucky to have teachers and staff who've believed in me, supported me, and challenged me to grow. They took the time to encourage me and help shape who I am today, and I will carry that with me long after this moment. One of the biggest things I've realized over the years is just how much we've all changed as a class. If we could go back and meet our elementary school selves, or even the versions of us who walked into high school as freshmen, I don't think any of us would be exactly the same. Back then, graduation felt impossibly far away, and most of us had no idea who we were going to become. Since then, we've grown to experiences that challenged us, shaped us, and pushed us outside of our comfort zones. We've become more independent, more confident, and more prepared for the future ahead of us. Even though we may not always know this to growth while it's happening, looking around today makes it clear just how far we've all come. What makes these years so special are the moments we've shared together along the way. Some of the memories that stand out most aren't necessarily the big accomplishments, but the smaller moments that brought us closer. Whether it was singing karaoke on bus rides, laughing over the small things, or sitting around talking about old memories together, those are the moments that make high school unforgettable. It's the ordinary days that somehow become the memories we'll carry with us for years to come. Looking back now, I think those moments mattered more than we realized at the time. As we leave high school behind, we're stepping into a future filled with opportunities, uncertainty, and excitement. Some of us already know exactly what path we want to take, while others are still figuring it out. And that's okay. Life doesn't come with a perfect plan, and none of us are expected to have everything figured out right now. What matters is that we continue moving forward, learning, growing, and believing in ourselves, even when things feel uncertain. Each person sitting here today is capable of accomplishing incredible things, and I hope we never let fear stop us from chasing what matters most to us. To the class of 2026, I hope we leave today remembering not just the achievements we've earned, but the people and moments that make this journey meaningful. No matter where life takes us next, a part of us will always be connected through the memories we made together here. As we move forward into new experiences and new chapters, I hope we do so with gratitude for the past, confidence in ourselves, and excitement for everything still ahead. Congratulations, class of 2026. We made it, and our story is only just beginning. Thank you.
Good afternoon, family, friends, teachers, staff, and fellow graduates. The day we've been looking forward to, or possibly even dreading, has finally come. I can't express just how proud I am of our class for reaching this point in our lives. We're not the biggest class by any means, and we've had our ups and downs, but in a way, I believe those are the things that have strengthened our bond as a class. However, the class of 2026 has also been through a lot. We've had it better than other classes before us, but we still had our fair share of obstacles. COVID hit our class in the middle of 6th grade, meaning we had to transition to junior high and different school, all while dealing with hybrid learning. Throughout 7th grade, we had to find our way past all the new things we were encountering. Fortunately, things were getting better during 8th grade. The school was still transitioning back from the COVID precautions, but it was finally growing again. As the school grew once more, the students and staff within it grew as well, especially the class of 2026. Everything we faced in our 2 years of junior high proved to build us up rather than tear us down. I still remember the day when we were told we would be out of school for 2 weeks. It was the spring of 6th grade, and it just seemed like we were going to have an early spring break. Not far into the first week, though, did the world realize how big the COVID pandemic was going to be. Ending the rest of that school year was quite an experience, but the whole school was experiencing it together. We suddenly had to figure out how to keep going to school without physically being in the school. I think we all did the best we could, even if sometimes that was choosing to do only the assignments we needed done. I also want to acknowledge the teachers that were doing the best they could do too. Having to suddenly learn online is one thing, but having to figure out how to teach a lesson, especially one's meant to be hands-on, had to be even harder. After what felt like forever, but also no time at all, the school year ended, summer passed, and the new school year was quickly approaching. This transition of bringing students back to school wasn't easy, and this class especially faced new challenges in that time. For starters, we suddenly had to be in the high school building, a building we had been to many times before, but never received a proper tour for. The high school isn't a big building by any means, but being the youngest group in the building and having no clue where you should be going is never a good fit. To add on to the new environment, we also had to face new regulations in response to the pandemic. I can't say if my classmates felt the same way as I did, but I know I was becoming increasingly anxious as the first day of 7th grade was approaching. I'm the kind of person that needs to know exactly what I need to do, and although we were told the basic information, I just felt very underprepared. Luckily though, things weren't as bad as I thought they would be, and they got better as the school year went on. But there was still the obstacle of hybrid learning. Along with the teachers, we had to learn how to use technology for assignments we would have never used them for before. These changes took some getting used to. We had used Chromebooks for assignments in elementary school, but never like this. This definitely was a challenge at first, but I do believe it helped many of us become more comfortable using technology in an environment that was quickly becoming tech-focused. Furthermore, I think hybrid learning helped build this class's independence, since half the time we would be away from our teachers. Of course, we could email them with any questions we had, but e-learning made us work through our assignments on our own. While we were kind of thrown into it at first, I think hybrid learning is definitely a skill that we would need when we transitioned from junior high to high school. As we moved into our 8th grade year, things were continuing to get better, but there were still a few regulations in place. Despite those regulations, our 8th grade year had been the closest to a regular school year we had since the pandemic had started. We no longer had hybrid days, and the overall feel of the school was starting to become normal again. Nonetheless, I think the moment that marked our return to normalcy was our 8th grade promotion. It feels kind of ironic because we're right back in the same place that we were then, on this stage and graduating. We had gone from being pushed into junior high in confusion to being honored on our way into high school. Although it was just 2 years, we as a class learned so much. We were obviously learning in our classes, but also through the environment around us. I won't say that we wouldn't be here if we hadn't had that experience. I think we still would be. But going through what we did has taught us so many things that we could take with us as we go on with our lives. So, we've experienced a lot together throughout our many years as a class. And although it's sad that we now have to part ways, I can't wait to see how our lives will turn out. I can't wait to see how each of us will grow as we transition into the next phase of our lives. I can't wait to see us pursue the lives we want to live. I can't wait for us to keep living. I want to thank on behalf of my class all the teachers that got us here today. Many of you have left a lasting impact on us that will continue to carry on through our lives. I also want to thank all the family and friends that have helped us along the way. I can't speak for my classmates, but for me, my family was always there for me, cheering me on no matter if what I was doing was academic or extracurricular. Additionally, my friends, even the ones I made just this year, made this whole journey the best it could be. I can't even imagine what it would have been like without them. To end, I want to give a good luck to my classmates. I hope you all do amazing in the fields you plan to go into. I mean it when I say I'm going to miss this class. Sure, classmates have come and gone, but we've been with each other for 13 years. Our norm has always been to be together as a class, so it's going to be quite a change to meet each other, but it's our time to do so. I am so glad I had the opportunity to speak for the class of 2026. Thank you.
Good afternoon, friends, family, teachers, and members of the community. It's an honor to stand here today representing the graduating class of 2026. If there is one thing that is important about this class, it's that we didn't just go to school together, we grew up together. Here at Galva, we don't just recognize faces in the hallway, we know the people behind them. After spending years together, I cannot imagine what my life would have been like if I had gone to a big school where I didn't know more about the person next to me than their first name. Thankfully, we all grew up side by side, whether it was in the classroom, at the park, on the soccer team, or around the neighborhood. In fact, all of the people in this room have been a part of nearly every chapter of our lives so far. They have supported us, challenged us, celebrated us, loved us, and helped shape who we are today. I am extremely grateful to have started and ended at a school like Galva, and I wouldn't have it any other way. Not only have the students and faculty at Galva High School made an impact on the class of 2026's high school journey, but the community as a whole. It has been so meaningful to see how well our community comes together to support each other. This year especially, I've been lucky enough to see the community join in for senior nights, homecoming festivities, basketball games, and much more, all of which have made lasting memories that I know our class will cherish. From sporting events to fundraisers, I cannot thank the parents and members of the community enough for the effort they have put into our success. And although I've gone to this small school in this small town all my life, I've been lucky enough to have friends that like me to put up with me since kindergarten. Reese and Ella, I'm not sure if you realized what you were signing up for when you agreed to be my friends on the carpet in Mrs. Kendall's class, but I'm glad you stuck around. Blessing or a curse, we've been there for each other through all the awkward phases, and trust me, there were several. From covering spilt slime on Reese's carpet to scrubbing the eyeliner that me and Ella impulsively drew all over our faces, I have never failed to laugh with you guys. I'm sure I'll never be able to live down being sent to the principal's office with Reese in second grade for saying that Ella couldn't join our grammar group, but at least we made a good memory out of all of it. I love you guys, and I wouldn't have made it this far without you. Ever since I was little, I wanted to be a teacher. My parents can agree that I used to sit in my room making lesson plans on my easel while talking to the wall. Unfortunately, that is where I learned the habit of talking to myself, and they probably thought I was crazy, but at least I was staying occupied. While I recently learned that teaching just isn't for me, I still have an extreme appreciation for it. I can easily list the teachers that I've had all the way back to elementary school and be able to tell you the kind of positive impact that they had on my life. I am eternally grateful to each and every one of the teachers here at Galva and will carry a piece of what they have taught me the rest of the way through my life. As grateful as I am for the friendships and experiences the school has provided me, none of it would have been possible without my family. Although my dad knows I hate it when he orders more trees to plant or wants to build another hut at the timber, I would do it 1,000 times over if that's what made him happy. And trust me, it is. All jokes aside, he has been doing the hard things that he doesn't want to do in order to make me happy for the entirety of my life. He has made countless sacrifices for me, and without them, I wouldn't be standing here speaking to you right now. His selfless personality is the part of myself that I'm constantly trying to better. By far, the best thing my dad ever did was meet my mom, Sarah. Sorry. Because of her, I know that you don't have to be blood to be a family. She truly is the strongest person I know, and I'm incredibly lucky that life brought her into mine. Thank you to my entire family for the laughter, love, and support you have given me. I love you all. And to my classmates sitting here today, thank you for being a part of this chapter in my life. We may not have always liked each other, but I'm grateful for the moments that I shared with each and every one of you. I'm sure Mrs. Rayleigh can attest that we have lots of good memories together, as we love to reminisce on our elementary school days in her class. I hope that all of you stay true to yourself. Don't let life or anyone else get in the way of getting what you want. Before worrying about what's to come, take this moment in. It's bittersweet to say that this is the last time that we will sit together as one class in the same place at the same time, but it's true. On that note, thank the people that got you to this point. They deserve it. They are the reason you made it this far. Whether we loved high school or counted down the days until graduation, we all made it here. And no matter where life takes us, these past 4 years will always connect us in some way. Congratulations to the class of 2026, and thank you.
How about one more round of applause for our valedictorians? Great job. Congratulations to all of our valedictorians, and thank you for sharing those messages today. Next, please join me in welcoming to the podium Superintendent of Galva Schools, Mr. Joe Becker.
Thank you, Mrs. Smythe. On behalf of Galva Community School District 224 Board of Education, I would like to welcome everyone to the graduation ceremony of the class of 2026. Today, we gather to celebrate the class of 2026, a class that has left a tremendous impact on our school and community. When I think about this group of graduates, one thing immediately comes to mind: school spirit. Ironically, and I think as Allison very eloquently stated, my first memories of this class were during a time when it was hard to even see their faces. I first met many of you as your seventh grade principal during COVID, a time of mass uncertainty, alternative schedules, distancing, and challenges none of us expected. Hallways were quieter, routines were different, and so much of what made school feel normal had changed overnight. Yet even during a difficult time, this class found ways to stay connected. You adapted, you persevered. And over the years, I watched you grow from a group of students navigating uncertainty into leaders who help bring energy, pride, and spirit back into our school community. This is why school spirit defines the class of 2026. School spirit is more than cheering on games and wearing the blue and maize. It is pride in your school, support for one another, and a willingness to show up for your classmates and community. This class did exactly that. Whether in academics, athletics, fine arts, clubs, and community events, you brought enthusiasm and pride everywhere you went. You created an atmosphere that younger students looked up to and wanted to be part of each day. You embodied our CAT's values: community, achievement, teamwork, and success. You reminded us that schools are not just buildings. They are people, relationships, and shared experiences. As you leave today and begin your next chapter, carry the same spirit with you. The world needs people who encourage others, care about their communities, and lead with positivity and pride. Continue to be the people who bring others together. Graduates, from masked hallways in 7th grade to sitting here together today as a class of 2026, it has been my honor to watch your journey as both a principal and a superintendent. On behalf of the entire district, thank you for your legacy you leave behind. We are proud of you, we believe in you, and we cannot wait to see what you accomplish next. Wildcats for life.
Thank you, Superintendent Becker. Next, I would like to introduce our commencement speaker. Dr. Kimberly Stevens is a 2002 graduate of Galva High School and owns Stephen Veterinary Clinic in Galva. After high school, she started secondary education at Black Hawk College East Campus, followed by the University of Illinois, where she earned a Bachelor of Science, a Bachelor of Animal Science, and a Doctorate of Veterinary Medicine. Following graduation from veterinary school in 2010, Dr. Stevens returned to her home in Galva and joined the Galva Regional Veterinary Services and had the opportunity to purchase the practice in 2013, renaming it the Stevens Veterinary Clinic. She notes that her greatest achievement thus far is the dedication to the community, which has allowed her clinic to expand into a new facility. Please help me in welcoming Dr. Kimberly Stevens.
Thank you, Principal Smythe, for the invitation to speak this afternoon to our graduates and their supporters. From a very early age, I've had a talent for working with and around animals. My family could tell you hundreds of stories about having cattle follow me while in the pasture, playing in the barn with litters of kittens, and of course, all the stories that developed through the many years of 4-H and FFA working with livestock projects. During my childhood, my family raised hogs, cattle, and milked dairy cattle on our farm just 6 miles south of Galva. I could often be found alongside my Grandpa Dewey, helping in the milking parlor. I distinctly remember when I was very young, telling him that I wanted to become a veterinarian, and he shared with me that he too shared the same dream for himself. In fact, he wrote a short story in their 1947 Lafayette yearbook of what all the graduates of his class would be doing later in their lives. He stated that his veterinary clinic would be in Fairbanks, Alaska, and that he would be flying to his clients' farms to check on their stock. From that day forward, it was my life goal to serve animals and their owners, not only for myself, but also to make him proud. As I went through my educational career, one thing became blatantly obvious. I was never going to be top of my class. In preparation for this speech, I asked if I could see my report card from high school. Within seconds, your wonderful school secretary, Mrs. Kaiser, presented it to me. My GPA was 4.7 out of 5. I was 14th in my class of 54 students, and my ACT score was not great at 24. The same story held true while attending Blackhawk College East Campus in the University of Illinois. My undergraduate GPA was 3.47 out of 4. And it should be noted that in order to get into veterinary school, the average GPA is 3.6. While I was blessed to get into veterinary school at the University of Illinois, even in a setting that was all about the career I had been striving for, I was not in the top half of my class. So one may ask, how did you get to where you are now? And there is a simple answer: pure grit. Grit is defined by the Merriam-Webster Dictionary as a firmness of mind or spirit, unyielding courage in the face of hardship or danger. Dr. Angela Duckworth, a psychology professor at the University of Pennsylvania, has been studying grit for much of her career. She has made a test to see how gritty a person is. She has found that individuals that score high on a grit scale are more likely to achieve long-term goals. Moreover, she has found that traditional measurements of how intelligent a person is having no correlation to how successful they are in achieving long-term goals. I'd like to share with you, currently my grit score is 4.3 out of 5, which makes me grittier than 80% of the American population that has taken the test. There are 2 aspects to grit: passion and perseverance. Passion is not how intensely you are committed to your goal, but how consistently you are striving towards your goal long term. While some find their life's passion in a milking parlor, it may be harder for others. If you have not figured out your life's passion, let natural energy guide you. Move towards tasks and topics that fuel you, and step away from tasks that drain you. Try different hobbies, different classes, different volunteer opportunities to see what fills your cup. Your passion will find you, but it's up to you to keep looking for it. Every task that I do, during working hours or not, is to make myself a better veterinarian. I want to be consistently better prepared to serve the animals that I see and the humans that are attached to that leash, the kitty kennel, the halter, or the sorting stick. I consciously make decisions that impact my current and my future veterinary career. One example of this would be my physical health. Large animal medicine is not for the faint of heart or the weakness of body. I was born with scoliosis and kyphosis of my spine, which simply means that I have bends in my back that are not normal. For most of my adult life, I have dealt with back pain. The pain started impacting my ability to do my job, so in 2015, at just 31 years old, I made the decision to have my lower spine fused. I immediately woke up in the surgical recovery room to myself giving a nurse, advice about her dog with Lyme's disease, and being able to feel my left leg again. It was incredible, and I was back to doing large animal medicine within a much shorter time than my doctors expected. I was naive, though, and thought I could live my life as I had been, and the pain eventually started to creep back in. I went back to my amazing surgeon, and he said I needed another surgery. He continued that due to my curvatures, this surgery would fuse my spine from the top part of my back all the way to my hips. This type of surgery would end my career as a large animal veterinarian and maybe even a small animal vet. I asked my surgeon, is there anything I can do to avoid this surgery? And he told me, something we don't want to hear, lose weight and get more fit. So, during that time, I thought of all my patients and realized that to continue my passion for taking care of animals and their owners, I needed a physical change. This type of change does not happen overnight. It takes consistency to change. Since then, I've started eating better and exercising regularly, losing 50 pounds of body weight, and while I may not have the six-pack of abs yet, I'm working towards it. I have a long-term, passionate goal of taking care of Galva's animals and for many, many more years. The second part of grit is perseverance. Perseverance basically boils down to putting on your big kid pants and not giving up when life gets hard. When I graduated from veterinary school in 2010 and joined the practice here in Galva, it was never a dream of mine to purchase and own the practice. I wanted to be an associate veterinarian without the risk of ownership. The opportunity of ownership was placed in front of me, though, in 2012. Being a seasoned and successful businessman, it was Grandpa Dewey that I went to for advice. We met with an accountant and a lawyer, and we made a plan. I had built relationships with clients, and I wanted to continue to serve the animals at Galva. I knew the only way to achieve that goal was to step out of my comfort zone and purchase the clinic. Now remember, I was not the top half of my veterinary school class academically, but I had that grit, and I am proud to say that I was the first person in my veterinary class to own their own practice. On February 1st, 2013, Stevens Veterinary Clinic was open. Another example of my perseverance comes from our time during COVID, which Allison had already talked about. We all have stories of this trying time in history, but for the veterinary industry, it was a time of huge demand. It is estimated by the American Veterinary Medical Association that 1 in 5 households added a pet during the COVID years. If we put that into perspective with Galva, with approximately 1,030 households, that equals 206 new pets in Galva alone. If you spread that statistic to all the communities and rural areas in which our clinic serves, the workload became overwhelming in our 2,000 square foot facility. For many years prior to COVID, I had thought about building a new space, talked to Grandpa Dewey about it, and the dream became a fruition during the high demands. We are now blessed with working in a beautiful 7,000 square foot building with a large animal working facility. We can serve more animals than ever and have dreams of adding another veterinarian so we can serve even more. Earlier this afternoon, I met with the graduating class and passed out the grit test to them. I'm sure they were delighted that they had another test to do, but I couldn't let them leave without one more test. The test is simple. It is 10 questions, but hopefully they gain from it how gritty they are. I encourage them to remember that grit can look ordinary. Studying for 1 more hour, trying again after rejection, showing kindness when you are frustrated, or continuing to believe that growth is possible. Developing grit and achieving long-term goals do not happen alone. Make your inner circle of friends those who cheer you on the most. My success is thanks to my family, my inner circle of friends, and my amazing team at Stevens Veterinary Clinic. It should also be noted that grit scores can change depending on what season of life you're in. I challenge the students to not get discouraged if their scores are low. Remember, high school graduating students should be around 3.1. And if you are wanting to score higher, read Dr. Duckworth's book, Grit, The Power of Passion and Perseverance. I hope this afternoon, through my story, that you have learned that while you may not be the smartest person in the room, you have the ability to be the grittiest. That grit will help you reach your long-term life goals. I wish every graduate the best in their future endeavors. Thank you for your time.
Thank you again to Dr. Stevens for those inspiring words. Appreciate it. Now, on behalf of the Galva High School faculty, it is my pleasure to present the class of 2026. By the authority vested in me, I hereby declare that the students seated before you have met all graduation requirements set forth by the Galva School District and the Illinois State Board of Education. We are now ready for the graduates to be awarded their diplomas from our Board of Education. Representing the board today are Laura Burke, Jill Pankow, John Vandervelde, and our board president. Please rise. McKenna Lynn Anderson. Allison Marie Nordstrom. Kaylin Krista Conklin. Bachelor of Science in Nursing degree. Honor roll, please be seated. Row 1, please rise. Allie Denise Anderson. Sarah Dale Burris. Joey Lynn Charlotte. Mylan Keith Gray. Kimber Ann Daly. Alexander Nicholas Davis. Zadie Jo Marie Henry. Cyrus Dean Hurd. Row 1, please be seated. Row 2, please rise. Ryan Marie Hutchinson. Ella Arlene Ingles. Wyatt Everett Dean Johnson. Braden Paul Murphy. Ian Thomas Pacheco. Wyatt Lee Rory. John Patrick Sloan. Jatavius Ryan Smith. Attending Southern. Please be seated. Row 3, please rise. Lycan Anthony Steck. Stall. Reese Ann Summer. Alexander John Trapp. live band. Row 3, please be seated. Thank you, Mr. Becker. On the base. Lastly, I would like to invite our senior class president, Ms. Kaylee Townsend, to lead her class in the official turning of the tassel.
To my love took it down. Climbed a mountain and turned around.